Welcome to my channel. In this video, we will be discussing about the importance of returning borrowed items on time. In everyday life, people often depend on one another for small acts of help. A neighbor may lend a kitchen tool, a colleague may share a pen or a file, or a relative may offer some useful household item for temporary use. These exchanges are a normal and healthy part of social life. They reflect trust, cooperation, and a sense of community. In many societies, helping one another in minor matters is not only appreciated, but also quietly expected as part of good human behavior. However, this spirit of mutual support can be weakened by one common problem. Borrowed items are not always returned on time. What begins as a simple favor can become a source of inconvenience and discomfort when the borrower fails to return the item once the purpose has been served. Though this may seem like a minor issue, it carries larger implications about responsibility, gratitude, and respect for others. There is nothing wrong with borrowing an item when there is a genuine need. In fact, borrowing can sometimes be practical and reasonable. It saves time, avoids unnecessary purchases, and strengthens human connection. A person may need a book, a charger, a cooking utensil, a stapler, or some other everyday object for a short period. In such situations, asking someone nearby for help is often the easiest solution. The problem does not lie in borrowing itself. The real issue begins when the borrower becomes careless about returning the item. In some cases, the person may forget. In other cases, the delay may result from negligence, poor habits, or a lack of consideration. Occasionally, it may even seem intentional, especially when the borrower keeps the item until reminded. Whatever the reason, the outcome is often the same. The lender is inconvenienced and placed in an awkward position. When someone lends an item, they do so in good faith. They assume that the borrower will use it for the intended purpose and return it promptly. If that does not happen, the lender may later need the same item and discover that it is no longer available. At that point, instead of using their own belonging freely, they are forced to ask for it back. This creates an uncomfortable situation. The lender may hesitate to remind the borrower because they do not want to appear rude or demanding. Yet from a practical and moral standpoint, they are only asking for what already belongs to them. Even so, such a reminder can feel unpleasant, especially when the borrower should have returned the item without being asked. This small social discomfort matters. It can create irritation, reduce trust, and make people less willing to help in the future. Over time, repeated experiences of this kind may weaken relationships between neighbors, friends, relatives, and co-workers. Returning borrowed items promptly is more than a matter of good organization. It is a basic sign of respect. When a person returns an item without delay, they show that they value the lender's generosity and understand that the item was given only for temporary use. It reflects maturity, discipline, and awareness of social responsibility. A person who borrows should remember two simple truths. First, the borrowed object does not belong to them. Second, the lender may need it again at any time. These truths should be enough to encourage prompt return. Even if the item seems small or inexpensive, the principle remains important. Respect is not measured by the price of the object, but by the attitude shown toward another person's property. Whenever someone helps us by lending something, gratitude should naturally follow. A favor, however small, deserves acknowledgement. Sadly, some people act as though borrowing is their right, and returning the item is optional. This attitude weakens the value of kindness in society. A thankful borrower behaves differently. Such a person asks politely, uses the item carefully, returns it as soon as possible, and expresses appreciation. This simple pattern of conduct maintains goodwill and encourages others to continue being helpful. Gratitude, in this sense, is not just a matter of saying thank you. It also includes responsible action. The issue of unreturned borrowed items may appear trivial, but it points to a broader need for better everyday habits. A well-functioning society depends not only on laws and institutions, but also on ordinary personal discipline. People who are thoughtful in small matters are often more dependable in larger ones as well. Developing the habit of returning borrowed things immediately can prevent unnecessary tension. It also helps preserve trust in personal relationships. When people know that their belongings will be returned without reminder, they feel more comfortable helping others. In this way, one small act of responsibility contributes to a stronger culture of mutual support. Helping one another with small needs is a valuable part of social living. Borrowing items from neighbors, friends, colleagues, or relatives is perfectly acceptable when done respectfully. Yet borrowing also creates a responsibility. Once the work is complete, the item should be returned immediately, without waiting for the lender to ask. Failing to do so may seem minor, but it places unnecessary burden on the lender and can damage trust over time. By returning borrowed items promptly and expressing sincere gratitude, individuals show respect for both the property and the kindness of others. In the end, such simple habits help build more considerate relationships and a more responsible society. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and share it. Subscribe to my channel for more content on relationships and family, social issues and empowerment, mental health and personal growth, and a variety of other topics.